When it comes to the traction bars and CalTracks, even when I was in the market of buying traction bars, obviously I went with your bars because they were cheaper, right? But could you essentially compare the CalTracks to the traction bars? I know there's a different design. I know for sure you didn't have an issue with like any backlash from Calvert. So what are your thoughts on, you know, your bars and the CalTracks?
So back to the Calvert stuff. You know, I think they're both very comparable. I think the thing with the bars, what's better of ours is going to be the installation side. So they're just a lot easier to install.
Guys, thank you for tuning in to Go Hard Podcast. Make sure you watch the full video on YouTube.
Oh, hey guys. Don't mind me. I'm just doing some control arms. Guys, who you guys want on the next podcast? Put it in the comments and let's get it to the next video.
Welcome back to Go Hard Podcast. I'm your host, Noel. Got my co-host here on CLT Billet. Hey guys, he's pretty much not gonna say nothing. He's under a mask right now, the welding mask, because y'all said it, man. He don't say nothing, so he's really not gonna say nothing. And he pretty much said, you know, I don't pay him to be here, so it's fun. Hey guys, look, put in the comments if you want him on here or not.
Hold on, we get paid?
Hey guys. You thought I left? No, I didn't. I'm back. ¿Cómo dice el papá llorón? No, he gives the man.
Niño llorón.
El niño llorón llegó. No se va. We're back at it again, guys. Co-host Ociel Team Billet. Compadre, thank you so much for letting us come in. Little introduction to start it.
Yes, sir. Vic. Me and Vic, we go back. Like,
Way back.
What year was it, like 2016?
Man, I think it was. I was trying to look for it in the messages on Facebook. I couldn't find them though, but I want to say it was 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Way back.
So Vic, if you don't know him, just a little bit about him. VA8 Specialties. He builds suspension parts and he got into the Fords. But traction bars, he fabs up a lot of kits for suspension on the trucks and, you know, the whole 9 yard. But Vic actually did my diff back then. He did the Eden Posse and some gears or something like that.
I don't even remember.
Damn,
I don't remember.
That's crazy.
He has a lot of customers.
I do remember the
big
traction
dog.
bar stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Traction bars.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't
It's like
remember.
saying, it's
I
like,
called him. I'm like, hey Vic, you know, I have a noise in my diff. You think you could check it out? And he's like, man, Noe, I usually don't do that, but if you turn around and you bring it, I'll try to align it and shim it up. And I was like, okay, cool,
right.
whatever. So I did that, and it worked good. On this podcast, we're gonna talk about Vic, his story of, you know, the trucks, the fabrication, the future for Vic. I think some people, they seen you like active a lot on socials, and then you disappeared, and then came back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not too big on social media.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know about the shop, you know, but they don't know like about the shop, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like they know who we are, but they don't know like
Not so much.
not so much about.
Yeah.
They know what we do, but if that makes sense.
so describe you, what you do at your shop. Tell us a little bit about your shop.
So-
What do you normally do?
So we are a fabrication shop, right? We build mainly or primarily suspension components now for the Ford trucks. We used to do, beginning was 99% Chevy. That's how we got into it. You know.
Keep going.
Yeah, traction bars, shock relocation kits, and it was all Chevy. It was everything Chevy. 99, 06 stuff. 88 to 98 was kind of
OBS, right?
yeah, the OBS stuff was so, but mainly the 99 06 stuff was always fire. It was always sell traction bars. And then I want to say I bought a F-150 in 2013, 2014, like the EcoBoost stuff. So I was like, man, well, I'm selling the Chevy stuff. I was like, I want to get into the Ford game. And so started doing the Ford stuff. And I would sell, for every 10 Chevy kits I might sell 1 or 2 Ford. And then out of nowhere, when the 5-liter stuff came out, I want to say it was like 14, 15. It was still okay, but when the aluminum bodies came out, that's when everything changed, man. That's when everything went from, you know, selling, You know,
1 or 2.
Yeah, 1 to 2 to like, man, for every one Chevy kit, we were selling, 15, 20 Ford kits.
Wow.
It was a major, major jump in going from Chevy to Ford.
So when I told him this, I said, Vic, why you building Ford stuff? And he's like, nah, no, that's a new thing, this and that. I'm like, I like Ford, like,
Yeah.
Who does that, right?
Who wants to go there?
Who wants to build Fords?
Yeah.
And I still remember to this day, he's like, nah, that's the new thing. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. And sure enough, it was a thing.
Man. It took off. It's pretty
It
wild.
was a thing for real.
Yeah, it really was, man.
It was crazy though, but so could you say that you were one of the first ones to build up the Ford suspension as far as what you did?
Man, I think so. I think not like lowering wise, because there's Beltec, IHCs out there.
IHC,
they're pretty big compared to us. I mean, compared to all the companies out there, if you put them all out there, we're the baby. We're at the bottom of the pole, man. Like, we're the smallest. So we're the smallest, but I want to say the best known for the performance suspension. They all can lower them, but if you look at all the top guys running at the track or on the street, 99% of them will have some type of part that's ours, whether it's a coilover kit or a traction bar or something on that truck is part of ours.
Right.
And going to that, I think a big reason for that is Midnight. When Midnight came into the scene, we did a few trucks for him. There was a red truck we did for Jack Young. I don't know if it was a red truck. I don't know if it was 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. I don't remember, but that's like one of the first trucks that I think Midnight might have done. I might be wrong, and it went like, it had a Whipple on it. I think it made maybe close to 1,000 or something like that. I don't remember the details, but it was mid-9s maybe, low 9s, something like that. They'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it was one of the fastest, trucks and kind of what started everything. And it was, Midnight had his name on it.
Yeah,
that's one of my questions that I was gonna ask.
The forums, like back in the day in the forums when they were popping, I guess you can say, when they put their 60 foot, it would say VAS traction bars.
Oh yeah.
Or like VAS this, VAS that. And I used to be
that's
like,
way back.
Yeah.
That's way back. Man, I started like going back to the beginning. I was working at AT&T and all this stuff was a hobby, man. I had a buddy of mine that said, hey, I had a CNC machine. I used to do like air ride suspension and stuff. That's way back, like 2000.
No shot. You used to do bags?
like 08, maybe even before that. I had bought a CNC machine because I was cutting parts out with a torch.
With the torch?
Parts were coming out all jacked up, but it is what it was. And I was able to buy a CNC machine. It stayed at my house, or at my mom's house. It stayed put up for like a year or two before I even put it together. So we bought what's called a gantry kit, which is just the top piece, right? And I had to build the whole table. I had to build everything for it. So I don't know if I was just lazy. I don't know what it was, but it took like 2 years, man. But finally put it together, and I was cutting parts out, kind of getting familiar with AutoCAD and stuff. And I remember having a friend of mine say, hey, can you make me a flip kit? And I was like, yeah, bring me one. I'll check it out and see what we can do, or see what I can do. And so I built him one, and I sold it to him for like $30. And then for whatever reason, that got me thinking like, man, if I build one, I can build another one and sell it,
Mm-hmm.
So at the time I was working at AT&T. I was doing the outside cable repair.
Yeah.
Like all the phone lines. Back then it was DSL and stuff.
Hey, can you actually call AT&T and not
Right.
have the wrong server, please?
Uverse, crap like that, right?
Yeah.
But while I was working there, I had a Craigslist ad, and I left it on there, and I had flip kits on there. And
Dang, Craigslist.
Bro, I would go and I would stock my AT&T. Shout out AT&T because they helped me out so much.
Not today, though.
I would stock my AT&T truck with, and this is all for like 9906 stuff. I had flip kits and C-notches. That was my two go-to items, which funny enough, I don't even sell, not at all. I don't even sell them at all, like very, very rare. But yeah, I had my Craigslist ad, and the guys would call me, and then I could only be in a certain area at work, right? So I would I'd get these calls or whatever, and I'd go, and it was all Northside Houston. And then somebody would call me and say, hey, I saw your ad on Craigslist. Do you still have a flip kit? And I'm like, yeah, I have a fucking ton of them in the back, you know? So they'd call me. They'd meet me up. I'd go to a store, pull up in the AT&T truck, you know, get out, open it up, sell them what they needed, and take off, man. And that's how everything started. It was pretty cool.
So
pretty cool to think about now, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you were like slanging on the
I
side.
was slanging parts, bro.
Parts. What year was it? 15?
Man, I don't remember. This was
11?
Oh, this was like this was like 2010 maybe, 09, something like that. It was a long time
crazy.
ago.
Yeah.
Compadre not even had 3G yet, big dog. Like no 3G.
I don't even think that. Well, maybe that was around. I don't know.
Barely, I think 11.
Maybe 4G came.
This is way back. This is way back. This is how it all started, man. And my stuff was always called like homemade. Like, hey man, I don't know if you need I don't know, you don't want to buy that homemade stuff, and and it's cool to see the transition from homemade stuff to like actual name brand. You know what I'm saying? Like people buy our parts now for the brand, for the quality, for what they're getting. You know, not to say that we don't have failures, because everybody has failures,
right?
But you know, it's what happens. It's what happens after that failure that separates the companies up there, good from bad.
Do you think that yourself, because you make handmade stuff, do you think that you're more compatible to actual big companies that have like factory machines and stuff like that? As you do it, at home and
man, I believe so, man. With the type of equipment that we have now, that we've been able to grow into, I mean, I think we could compete with any of them. Yeah, and I think we do. I think we hold our own against most of the top companies. You know,
right.
We might not sell the quantities that they sell because they're more known, and there's more there's more guys out there that are just wanting to like daily their trucks and just lower their stuff, and that's Beltec, that's the IHC stuff. Right. But for the guys out there really wanting to put the power down to the ground, to a certain level, you know what I mean? Because then you get past the level, where some of the guys are going to now, that it's just it's wild. Yeah. But for the guys that are making 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, we're the shop for them for most of their
good
parts.
Street truck.
Will you do like tuckwatches, like C-notches again, or any drop?
No, man, I got away from the installation. It's just too much to handle. Having the shop as productive as it is with all the orders that we get, it got to the point to where I couldn't do it. It was becoming a hassle doing, and I'll still do them here and there. But it got to a point where it's like, man, it's too much. It's work, and no off days. You know what I mean?
You got to tell us about the ones that know you. They know about the old Chevy, the square body,
the blue square body.
The blue square body, man.
Yeah, man.
It was making some noise back in the day on the forums because
everybody liked that
LS
truck.
Swap square body.
Yeah, everybody liked that truck. It went through a couple different engines and turbo setups, and it started with a good friend of mine, man, that he passed away during COVID. And a lot of people know this guy. His name is Kyle Brown. He owned KB Racing. I don't know if you remember the name KB Racing.
It sounds familiar.
He's like, if you look him up, man, he's the one that started the whole log manifold setups for the turbo trucks. And then you had a lot of people follow him and kind of do similar stuff. But he moved down here to Texas. I was building that truck while he moved down here. He was actually right up the street. And he helped me, man. We did a 4.8. We did a 4.8 single turbo. And then we did like a compound turbo setup where it was the small turbo fed the big turbo, or the other way. I don't know. I don't remember. But I think the fastest that truck ran with the little 4.8 was like an 11:40. And back in the day, that was respectable. Fast, you know what I mean? It was okay. Yeah. And honestly, I wish I would have left that truck alone. I think I would have had a lot of fun with that truck, because that truck, you could beat on it, man. And it was a stock 4.8. It had nothing special, but you could lay it down and it would not pop, man. It was pretty cool.
Who tuned it?
Chris. So that truck had a Holly setup on it, and there was a guy, Chris, that worked at the School of Automotive Machinists. You heard of them?
Yeah.
Yep. So I went to that school. Chris was an instructor there, and he helped me tune the truck. We did a couple highway stuff, and it was nothing fancy, but it worked, and it was pretty cool.
I remember you built your trans yourself.
I did. Damn, I forgot about that.
Huh?
I forgot about that.
He was damn. I'm reminding him. But I remember I said, who built your trans? He was like, I did. I said, what kit you use? He's like, oh, I used the Jake's Performance kit.
Yeah.
And I said, you built it yourself? He's like, yeah, I built it. It's easy.
That's wild.
And I ordered it, and I was like, this is not easy.
So on that, man, I followed. I found a guy on YouTube, dude.
YouTube.
He started the transmission, like he tore it apart and then he put it back together. So I was going through it and it worked, and it worked good, man. I didn't have any issues with that transmission, man. Funny story about that is I was doing a converter swap in my outside of my garage. Truck was on jack stands. I'm underneath it, holding it, trying to put the transmission in. And this is after rebuilding it. And I throw it in there. I tighten everything up, and I'm like, man, fuck, finally, I'm done. It's easy now, right? I can put the drive shaft in.
It's not that easy. He don't just throw it in there like.
So, but no, this is after the fact. So, while I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, crap, shit. But I get it on there, bolt it up. I put the 4 bolts in there, tighten it up. The 4 bolts on the side. And then I remember I needed something from the garage, and I go in there, and I can't think of what it is now, but there was a little part on my table that was still there that was supposed to be in the transmission, man. And so I think that night was I think it was Texas 2K or something.
Like a shootout, probably.
There was something going on, some street stuff, and I wasn't a big street racer. I'm not a big street racer, but I wanted to go out and just cruise around and hang out. And I remember like seeing it, I'm like, damn it, I have to go back, and I had to go do it again, take it all off, put it on. But that was a pretty funny story, man.
Yeah, I remember he told me, he said, he's like, I built it once, and then I put it in, and I had to take it back out. I was like, damn. Mm-hmm. But
just gotta make sure, man.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure, dude.
But it was cool. Another truck you had was the Ford Lightning. Were you the first one to do an LS swap on it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the gray one.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. I think there was other attempts or some other people have. I'm sure. I don't think I was the first. But I know I'm the only one now that still sells the LS mounts for them. So they're still on the site. We left them on there, because they're pretty popular, man. People buy them. We probably sell 2 or 3 a month, So that's.
What made you, like, instead of the supercharger, what made you go to LS on the
Man, so I always liked the Lightning stuff, man. And back when they were out, 03, 04.
The body, right?
Yeah, that truck was nice. That was like one of the nicest, and I still think it's the nicest little sport pickup that they've ever made, Ford. But at the time, I couldn't afford no Lightning, and I always liked them. And then the opportunity came to get one, and we got it. And the guy that I got it from had blown his motor up like 2 or 3 times, and he was done with it. And he brought it.
It's that 5.4, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He was like, I'm done with it. He took the motor out, sold it, and we got it just rolling chassis. And we put the motor in it. We put a LS. What did we put first, man? I think it went through like 3 motors. We did like a LS, we did like a 6-liter. Then we did a 408, not 4 mo. So we did a 6-liter first. Then we did the 408. Then because of bad tuning, we blew that up. Then we did a 4. I think it came out to like a 410 or something like that. And then because of bad tuning, we blew that up. And there's a video. I'll try to find it. But we're at one of the HPT shootouts. Do a pass, and it's feeling good, man. And it's launching. It goes hard. It feels good. And then like maybe after the 60 foot, I hear this weird like rattling noise. Now I guess it's known as the death rattle now. And I just hear it, and I let off. And as soon as I let off, I just see white smoke all behind the truck. And I'm like, damn it. And so I remember I pull over to the side. They take me around, and I look, and I'm like, oh, it's just coolant. I'm thinking, oh, it might just be a blown head gasket or something. And I look, and I'm looking underneath it, and sure enough, you can see some of the gasket coming out. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I'm good. So we get it home that night, take it apart. It torched the heads. We take the heads to Hooper. He gets them redone for us. And then this is like a week later. Then I finally get back to the shop, and I'm taking out these paper towels that we had on the napkins. And as I'm wiping the cylinder heads down, I feel like a crack.
Yeah.
Ooh. So all down the passenger side, driver's side, they were all cracked, all down the center. So that
Wow.
block was trash. The parts were still good, but that block was trash. So we ended up doing another motor for it. And that motor was in the truck when I sold it. And that guy that has it, he bought it. He's from New Jersey, and he's got that truck looking good, man. It's cage. I want to say it's high eights, something like that. Low nines. They're just kind of getting into it. So.
And it was a 408 on a turbo 400 or a 480?
It was at first it was a 480, and then at the end of it, it was a Rosler 400. Yeah.
And then it had did it have it had a 4-link, right? You had a 4-link
No,
on it?
no.
Or just a shock relocation?
It was, man, we did a lot of work on that truck. We put the leaf springs on the inside. We did a 15 by 12 weld. It had strange brakes all the way around. It had a ton of work on it. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It had a lot of work.
Yeah.
The big question is, why didn't you put a Coyote in it?
Man, I don't know, man. It might have just been money wise, you know. Stuff gets so expensive, man. You start throwing so much money at it. I think that's might have been the thing, man. You know, you have so much money tied into all these parts to stop with what you have. Because I was going into this with all the parts from the other truck that I had. So I had the motor, I had the Holly stuff, I had everything. I didn't have to spend no money.
Right.
You know, and then going to like a Coyote. So I looked into it at one point, and Mike, the guy that built my motor, I want to say to start over with a Coyote and everything was like maybe 20 grand or something like that for a decent setup.
Yeah.
You know, but this is also maybe 3 years ago, something like that.
It wasn't as pop. I mean, it was popping, but it wasn't as crazy now.
It's wild now, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's wild.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
I feel like you said 4 years ago. What is it, like 2018?
2020.
2020? My bad. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
In 2020, like, people was just doing LS.
Yeah.
They were just
It was all
LS.
Chevy, and then
Cut the part
man,
off. It's
yeah,
easy.
I really think when Manuel came out with that white truck,
Little baby
I think that shit just
changed the game.
changed everything, man. Yeah. I remember doing his truck, and he's like, "Man, this truck, it's gonna change everything," you know, and
It's gonna change the game.
it's gonna change the game.
And he did.
And he did, man.
Yeah.
He's the guy, man. I always tell everybody they're like, because they see him on his channel, and he's wild, man. He's a wild dude, but he's one of the very few people that I personally know that he talks so much, but he backs it up.
Yeah.
Everything this guy says, he backs up.
Yeah.
He's out there, so it's pretty cool to see, man. It's pretty cool to see it in action.
Everybody we had on the podcast says the exact same thing, right?
Right?
Like
Pretty wild.
They say the
Yeah.
same thing
Yeah.
about him.
And what's funny is Randy Seals, you just
Yeah.
had, his dad actually lives right behind me.
Really?
Yeah, which I didn't know until.
Randy, we're gonna go over to the
We're gonna
shop.
do your
you know.
pops. We're gonna do your
We're gonna
dad's
have him on
next.
the pod.
So that's pretty. Yeah, I got lucky, man. So a lot of people don't know that my shop is actually next door to my house,
Yeah.
and I got lucky. The lot we bought is not restricted. There's no restrictions here, so we were able to do the shop. And my neighbors are cool, man. Like they're all this. Randy's a car guy. My neighbors across the street are car guys. So
But you have to talk about where you first started. You know,
Yeah.
like the first location.
Yeah,
because
so-
you hopped around, I think, like 4 times. I
Man.
went to like every location.
man,
You had-
yeah, I have so many stories of how we started. How I started. I always say we like it's a huge company, you know. And just so y'all know, it's only 3 of us that work here.
Really?
Yeah, it's me and 2 others.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I started this shop building parts as a hobby. And my first shop was my 2-car garage. I had my CNC in there. I would buy sheets of metal. They weren't that big. What we use now is 5x10s. But I used to buy 4x8 sheets. There's a company called Triple S Steel.
Oh yeah.
We'd buy them there.
Shout out Triple S Steel.
I'd throw them in the back of my truck. I'd get home, and I remember I'd pick up the sheets. It was that I would do maybe 1 3/16 and 1 1/4 inch, and I would pick them both up, slide them off my truck just far enough to where they would start teetering, and I would let them fall down, and then I would drive the truck forward, and they would slam down, and then to get them on the CNC, I'd lift it up manually, and my dad's a carpenter, and he would he gave me these 2 like little wooden pegs, I guess. That he uses them for closets, like to hang the coat hangers. And I would lift it up with my hands. I'd pick it up, and then with my feet, I would put the little wooden tube or whatever you call it underneath.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'd go to the back. Yeah. I'd go to the back, lift it, and put it up, and then I'd roll it. And then it would fall off, and then I'd bring this one to the front and roll it until I get it onto the CNC, slide it over, pick it up, and then just manually throw it on there.
Damn.
But so anyway, I started there in the garage, and I did that while I was at AT&T. And then I got the small shop on Northville is what it was, by West Road and 45. Got that shop. I was there for maybe a year or two. And then I went to my uncle's shop. I don't know if you I think you went to that shop. It was
on Airline? Was it by Airline?
Yeah, Airline Hill Road. Yeah, so I was there forever, man. I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
And from that's kind of where everything really started kicking off.
Yeah.
Once I moved there is when we started building a ton of Ford stuff and getting away from the Chevy stuff. And I get people that call me still. They want control arms. That's the big one.
Control arms?
For the Chevy guys. Yeah, a lot of Chevy guys want control arms.
Wait, are you actually done with Chevy trucks or no?
We're not done. We still do traction bars.
Yeah.
We still do the traction bars. We still do the shock relocation kits.
Just not as much as.
But I got away from like the coilover kits. I got away from control arms, the 4-link stuff. We used to do a lot of different things for those.
But the control arm, you said you were coming back out. There was like a post.
Yeah, I did a post, man. I was just kind of a feeler, just to see. And man, I mean, a lot of people want them back. I got rid of the jig because I had it, and every now and then I'd get somebody that would message me, hit me up, and they really wanted them, and I would do it. Maybe I would do one here and there, but it was just so much, man. With everything else we had going on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get rid of it.
And the control arms, they're tubular, but they're for drop application.
Yeah, so we mainly did them for like I want to say it was like a 4-inch drop in the front. Okay. Yeah.
The ones that I was welding?
You're right. Yeah, similar to the JD. Like similar to the JDM one.
Yeah.
I want to say DJ. No, DJM.
DJM, yeah. I always get confused with it.
Yeah, similar to those, but more of a like a racing style setup, not a street setup.
Yeah.
A little thinner tubing.
Makes it a little bit lighter, right?
Lighter weight, yeah. That's the big thing, man. You get to a certain point with the horsepower and money that you can't do anymore with what you have, and then the next obvious thing is to lose as much weight as you can. So we're actually thinking about doing some lower control arms for and I have one, and we're testing for the F-150s. So, and I want to do like a street version of it. And then I want to do like a race version of it.
Oh, damn, nice.
So you do a little bit of both.
Something we're looking into.
But even the Fords now, the suspension they have is like, it's good. I mean, obviously.
Oh, yeah. No, like it is. It's really good, man. It's not really that heavy. They have aluminum spindles. I mean, we do have an upper control arm that we build. The lower control arm, we like to keep it stock, but if you can have a tubular arm down there that can save you a couple pounds, it could make the difference.
I remember you posted your cross members, and somebody's like, why would I buy a cross member or something like that? And you're like, just to say you have it.
Just to say you have it, yeah. A lot of people do it. A lot of people buy it it's nice to have a tubular cross member too, Not only the weight savings, but you can brag. You can brag you got some VAS parts.
VAS parts.
Yeah.
I was going to say, si te chinga, pues ya valiste comprar otro. Just in case. Just keep it in the back in your truck, dude, and you got it,
Yeah, but that cross member is coming very soon. I have one that's out on a truck, on a friend's truck, and he's been riding on it for a couple weeks now. No problems. Everything's been good. So I think
that leads to my next question. So whenever you build these parts, right, you do R&D, which is like you're doing the cross member.
Right.
Is there a certain mileage you put on the truck before you give it out to a customer? Or like,
man, that's a good question,
what's
the
test on them? He's so confident he don't got a test.
Right. Pretty confident with all my stuff. We just throw it out there. Control arms, I put that on my truck, and they're still on that truck. We did the first set are on it. And this is actually not even it's for my truck's lifted. It's got a little 6-inch lift.
You got boggers on them. Are they boggers?
No, it's a radio. It's a
On the tires?
it's an all terrain.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want hell no, that'd be loud going down the street. No, this truck it rides good, man. It's real quiet. But I did an upper arm for it. And that was the test, you know. As far as R&D, you know, we're not a multi-million-dollar shop. I don't have badass equipment to test everything out with like some of these shops do. But the parts that I provide, I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna make sure it's safe with me, you know, my family.
Right.
You know, because you have, you know, people that drive these trucks and they have families that ride with them, you know. And the parts that we make, you know, they have to be. You can't have parts. There's certain things that can break and you're okay, and there's certain things that can't break. You know, because shit can go bad real quick.
Yeah. Especially you're building performance parts.
Yeah.
And these guys are going 170 and
No cage.
and a quarter mile with no cage.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure those control arms don't mix.
Yeah, no, but arms, man, I'm super confident with our arms. Traction bars. We've had some failures, but
Revisions too.
revisions. Yeah, we've done a lot of revisions.
We've done a lot of,
man.
like, I know if you get your first arms, right? Your first traction bars compared to the traction bars now, they look totally different.
You know what's funny about that is I kept my first set of traction bars off the blue truck. The first ones I ever made, I still have.
They move a lot, the ones that they
I can bring them out. You want me to bring them out?
Yeah, bring them out.
I'll bring them out. You now?
Yeah.
Let me go get them. Can I move this?
Yeah. I know that.
This is some 1800 stuff, you know what I mean? Ugh.
Bro, this is a dinosaur.
Check it out.
Damn.
We're going to get dirty.
Let me see. Yeah. Now you're good.
Oh,
Oh, Vic, what's up with this, man?
Hey, this is...
Whoa. What are you looking at?
Don't zoom
All right, I know what to do. Look.
This is the first one that I one of the first ones that we made.
They're like teardrop holes.
Made it bad. But like now, the difference between what we have now and what we have then.
Well, why did you keep these?
Yeah,
Just
they're cracking
for
it.
memories?
Like, would you?
I don't know, man. I think, yeah, it's like, you know.
Oh, get on the mic. Sorry.
Oh,
shit.
sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, I think this is just memories, you know, kind of where we came from and how we started.
Yeah.
Do you have new ones? Do you have like a new one now to show it or no?
I can open one up.
This kit was made
Yeah, that's not
2008. It says stamped right here. 2008. Did you know that?
You stamp?
No, I'm just playing.
Probably longer than that.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's an old kit, man.
I'm good, bro. I trust you.
Oh,
Though.
man.
I trust you, though.
Get this guy on the podcast.
I remember I sold it. We're gonna leave that here. But I sold it and I sold my blue truck. So these might have been on the blue truck. And we sold that. And when I sold it to the guy, I was like, man, I'm gonna keep these. I'm taking these off because these are
Gyms.
gems, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, they're definitely gyms.
you might want to wash your hands.
I'm
baby.
good. I'm
Are you
good.
sure? We're gonna
Yeah.
stay dirty the whole way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool, I'm down.
They're definitely gym.
Definitely looked like it was from a horse. Like, you know, when you put what's it called? The
Horseshoe?
No, like when back in the day they drove a horse and they got
The cradle?
is it a cradle?
The straddle?
The straddle?
The rattle?
The rattle. Cut this part. Whatever.
He's like,
I don't know what it's called. It's when you put your horse and in the back they got the wooden wheels and stuff like that.
The wagon?
A wagon, yeah. It looked like from a wagon.
Oh, God. Golly, man. Hey, you know, if you want me to-
Where'd y'all find this guy?
I know. A lot of people say that it's okay.
Where to fight? I didn't hear that.
No, he said, where do you find this guy?
Oh, where did I
I'm
find it?
just
I don't
playing.
know.
I'm just
¿Dónde lo
playing.
encontraste?
No lo encontré. I think in Pinterest.
I know, right?
Craigslist.
What do they run now? Because I know they were
Man, when we started,
like 200 before,
I want to say when I first
150?
started, they were like,
125,
they were maybe like 250.
75 bucks.
250?
No, I'm just playing.
Wait, 250?
250, right?
On the back of
For the set.
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah. Okay.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I know they weren't like 100 and something.
I know you were.
We were wanting to be like $100 cheaper than
CalTracks.
I was gonna say Craigslist than Calvert. Yeah.
How much
Just
is
to,
it?
because I wanted to get my name out there. I wanted
Yeah.
people to try them out. You know, I would have.
That's still pretty
Maybe
cheap.
not, but I would have even said, hey, you know, give them away for free. Like, try them out. Just get them out there and see what they do.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I want to say 250 or 265, and then they went to like 320. And then now they're with the chromoly parts that we have now. I want to say they're like 410.
Really?
Yeah, 410. But also, material has gone up. Our machinery is way, way better than what we have, back then. And then also I try to do a lot of stuff in-house. I hate outsourcing stuff because it takes forever to get parts. We're such a small shop that when we do outsourcing, depending on what it is, it just the shops around here that do the parts that we need do a lot of oil field stuff too. So you see a small shop come in with a handful of stuff like, hey, I need these parts, and they're having multi-million-dollar deals with these oil companies.
Yeah.
They're gonna put us on the back. So the more I can do here, the better it is for me and for my customers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't support third party, Third party, if you don't know what third party is like, I'll charge you $2,500 and this and that, and then you get parts for like less than $500, and you come back, oh, here you go, and you make a lot of profit, but you didn't do any work. You know what I mean? The
middleman.
I mean, like if I'm gonna spend like $10,000 or $2,500 or whatever price you make, I want somebody to come from you. Your brand, your design.
Right. Oh, I see
That's
what you're
for
saying.
me,
Yeah. So, you want everything from this shop.
Yeah.
But there's parts that we can't do.
It's called business, though, at the end of the day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's part. Yeah.
But it's like business, and be like, oh damn, I could have just gone next door and be like, charge me cheaper, but
Yeah, there's parts that we can't build. We just physically can't.
And makes sense.
One of the big ones is we have a rubber bushing that we use now for the forward control arms.
The poly?
No. So it's not. No. So it's like a factory bushing. It's an outer metal sleeve. It's an inner metal sleeve, and then it's got a rubber injection in there. So you get your suspension movement from the actual rubber. So the inner sleeve is, and I'll bring one out if you need, but the inner sleeve gets tightened down on the control arm bracket, and then the rubber rotates around that inner sleeve. Yeah.
So they can see like what you're talking about.
I think I might need a rubber on my lift kit. Oh, I actually need that, to be honest. Swear to God. I swear to God.
So you're saying the rubber moves?
So the rubber has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we use, and then this is what a lot of guys use.
This feels like poly.
On their arms. Yeah. I don't know if it's a polyurethane or Delrin. That's another type of material that a lot of companies use. This stuff here, if not done right, it'll squeak. It'll make noises after a while.
Is this the one where you have to put grease?
Yeah, you have to. Yep.
Okay.
And then they'll have a Zerk fitting that'll help with the noises. But the noises will often come from the sides.
Right here?
No, let me see it.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. So if you see that one, it's got the metal sticking out. So when you tighten it down, it's the metal control arm bracket tightening down on that metal, right? So then once it's really tight, once you torque it down, that doesn't move. What moves is the center of the rubber's what moves, right? And so on the other one, the polyurethane bushing you have, that whole thing is always moving, and it's eventually it starts to kind of go into the metal and make noises and squeak.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Hopefully you got it so I can buy it, because every time I turn, it's something's hitting. I don't know if it's not on my controller. I'm being serious. And I was like, you talking about
why, right?
I don't do installations anymore. But I don't.
No. I'll buy it. That's what I'm saying.
You know why, right? Because it's on a...
It's two-wheel drive?
Yeah, it's two-wheel drive. It's a 6-lug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So every time I
you
turn,
need the heavy-duty suspension.
But it's a stick one. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's between the control arms, and it's in the middle. It's a stick.
Sway bar links?
So I think so.
Yeah.
But it's like every time I turn, it hit like something's hitting.
Yeah, it's a sway bar
It
link.
doesn't have a rubber in the middle.
Just get the rubber.
Yeah, well, here's the rubber.
These won't fit you. These won't fit. It's a littler one. Yeah. Smaller one. What were you saying?
Well, just to get back to it, this is like our arms have been out of stock forever, and this is the main reason, because
that's why
we build these. We have to weld these parts, and then we have to send this off, and then we have to wait till these come back. So
and they're adjustable, right?
Yeah, these are adjustable.
For camper and
yep.
tow?
These are mainly for like the 4-wheel drive stuff. The two-wheel drive stuff usually aligns pretty good. They'll align within factory spec. It might have a little bit of camber, like 0.2 degrees. Still aligns good. The four-wheel drive will have like 3 degrees of negative camber. So these are primarily for the four-wheel drive guys.
That could never be me.
Is there another like parts that you're testing for the four-wheel drive? Like
Man, nothing that I haven't mentioned. The cross member is going to be one of the newer items. I think that's going to be a pretty good seller, especially for the racing crowd that wants to lose a little bit of weight. And then the other big one's going to be the lower arms. I think that's going to be pretty good. The lower arm is going to be the tough one to handle though, just because of how popular I think it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you see all these guys, the four-wheel drives, they're pushing the four-wheel drives, right?
Yeah.
And that's the newest and greatest thing right now is
Everybody
four-wheel drive,
wants
Fords.
Yep.
So I'm sure there's somebody watching that has a four-wheel drive single cab Ford that are like, man, what's next for Vic? What can I add onto my truck soon? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But my next question for you, Vic, is when it comes to the traction bars and CalTracks, even when I was in the market of buying traction bars, obviously I went with your bars because they were cheaper, right? But could you essentially compare the CalTrack to the traction bars? I know there's a different design, so you didn't. I know for sure you didn't have an issue with like any backlash from Calvert,
right?
So what are your thoughts on your bars and the CalTrack?
So back to the Calvert stuff. I think they're both very comparable. I think the thing with the bars, what's better of ours is going to be the installation side. So it's just a lot easier to install. Yeah.
Versus taking off where you said earlier.
Yeah, with the Calvert stuff, which they're still really great bars. There's a lot more involved. It's a little harder, a little more difficult. You got to pull the leaf spring out. You got to press the bushing out, the factory one out. Then you got to press theirs in, and then that's kind of the hard part: pressing that out, putting it in, taking the leaf spring off. I think that'd be the only thing that I would say would be better on our end, installation.
Now, as far as better at the track, is there anything different as far as 60 foots? Because I know you'll have record 60 foots on the traction bars where you went 140s.
Yeah, there's a couple
anything
guys.
Anything lower?
Man, there's a lot of the Ford guys are going like 1.3s with our bars.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
There was a little S10 that we did. We did like a custom setup for an S10, and he went.
That was a Martin, right?
Martin, yeah. It's on the website. I don't remember what it was. It was a really low
number
for our time. Yeah, that was really low number.
I wanted to talk a little bit more
about. Hold on. What about the CalTracks? What is the lowest?
Man, Calvert. So Calvert's very popular. Calvert, they have a lot of the really high horsepower stuff. I want to say, man, I bet there's some of them dip really low, man. We could look up some numbers, man, but I want to say really low, like
1.2s,
1.1s, 1.2s, maybe. Yeah, I might be wrong, but I'm for sure they're 1.2s. If my little bars, with the people that we have are going, 1.3s, and I don't see why a 1.2 wouldn't be, in question.
It'd be a good advertisement video. Would record someone installing your bars, like how fast it took them.
Yeah.
And then installing
the other one. The Calvert bars, yeah.
Calvert bars.
Let me build it, and because I take like 30 years to build something, so.
Man, going based off of that and just theoretically saying that they both do the same thing, and going based off of that, I think we would take the cake there. Yeah. But Calvert stuff is really good.
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be like kind of funny because I'm not a mechanic. I'd be like, oh, it's this simple, this easy.
Yeah. Get the average Joe to put it on.
Yeah. Especially a two-wheel drive truck. So I'm a lifted two-wheel drive, and everybody just talks about it. But
everybody hates on you, huh?
It's always, all the time, especially now.
Go ahead.
Anyways, I wanted to talk about a racer. I know you were talking about it with Midnight about Jack Young.
Jack Young,
You were saying that he got a record of 940, something with dash 144.
9 something, yeah, like a low 9, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe even an 8 a height. something like that.
Well, you posted on recently on your Instagram that he got a record of 940
Oh, well, then there you go.
144.
Si sabe.
When 1.43/60 feet. I don't really know, but I wanted to talk about a little bit of what you've done to the truck, actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah. When was that? What's the date on that?
Well,
Ooh, got you.
I didn't screenshot that actually.
Yeah, that was probably like.
But it was an
2020.
older
2020.
Yeah, that was probably mid 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's one of the first trucks, or one of the first trucks that was like really fast. There was a lot of fast ones.
Yeah.
But when this one came out, everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
You know, this guy's running.
So this is one of the first Fords that you've made, pretty much, or get into in the racing scene.
I want to say that I can remember vividly. Yeah, that was the first one that we did. We did some new parts for that one. That one we did an anti-roll bar setup.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, we did an anti-roll bar setup. What are you doing, bro?
That's fine.
We did an anti-roll bar setup, and so because of that truck, we have the anti-roll bar setup now.
And speak a little bit about the anti-roll bar setup. Like what, for those that are unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, so the anti-roll bar setup, man, it's basically gonna keep your truck basically going straight. It keeps it from the chassis twisting.
Yep.
Yeah, and it helps a ton with the four-wheel drive stuff, man. I recommend it. Like, I'll get a lot of guys that call me and they don't necessarily need it, but they want it. But for the most part,
That's a lot of us, right?
Yeah. For the most part, man, I like to recommend that to anybody, getting to that, 900, 1,000, 1,100 horsepower range, especially four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Do you still have the same setup, or it already changed?
That truck, I don't know, man. He sold that truck.
Yeah.
Also a name, another highlight, Triple P. What's going on with the Ford? I think it was one that he actually wanted to sell. We
The gray
actually
one?
talked. Yeah, we went to talk to Triple P and we talked about this Ford.
Yeah.
And I seen on your Instagram as well that you have.
Yeah,
you did
I think we sold him a few parts. Yeah,
Parts.
I didn't keep up too much with that truck, but we did sell him a few things for that truck. I don't remember what it was though. And we sold so much crap.
Yeah.
I want to do a little quick shout out for your website as well.
Yeah, man. VASFab, VASFAB.com. I try to keep it simple, but yeah, go on there. I might do a coupon code off this podcast.
Ooh,
Hey,
nice.
go hard.
People like discounts, man. We might do something.
Yeah, we could do something for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. That would
Like
be
in
We
the
could do
bio
like a
or something,
Go hard 10.
Go hard.
Well, I don't know.
Go
We could
hard,
talk about the percent.
Go hard 5.
Yeah.
Just
I was going to, but-
GHP 5.
Hey, I was-
No, I think a decent one, a 10 or 15% discount, which it will help out some people.
That'd be cool.
Especially somebody that's thinking about doing something, and everybody likes to save a little bit of money.
A little something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Be
A
something
razzle
I'd be-
dazzle.
Be something I'd be willing to do.
Yeah.
When did you start doing the website?
Man, you know what? That website needs to be redone so bad.
To be honest, yes.
It is
There's
bad.
a lot of stuff in it. Like
is
I was
bad.
looking at it, and then it was kind of like not making me load. It was kind of crashing a little bit.
Yeah.
No offense, but
like
That-
a rock auto.
Yeah, because I was trying to click on stuff. You have like the pictures of all the trucks that you've done, and then I was trying to look at parts. It didn't let me.
Man,
So-
I haven't updated that
You
website.
probably fat fingered. Like,
Yeah.
So here's the bad thing with that. So, and then maybe this is bad with starting a business and doing everything on your own. That website, I had help putting it together. A friend of mine's wife put that thing together for me. And at the time, and still now, it works okay. But
It works,
it's
yeah.
not a fancy website. I'll tell you that. It gets the job done.
yeah.
But it can definitely get an update, And we've been thinking about doing
You can do
one.
big cartel. It helps.
Yeah, so I want to do one for our dealers. I want to revamp ours, make it a little more friendly to see the. I mean, everything's there, but
Yeah.
it just looks old.
Yeah.
But I want to do one for our dealers. We have maybe 10 dealers now, so I want something for them and make it a little more easy, a little easier for them to.
Who are your dealers?
So we have our top guys are DV8 Designs. They do a lot of lowering stuff. They sell wheels, tires, parts. They sell anything automotive related for trucks, maybe even cars. They do. So it's DV8, Beefcake Racing. They're another big one that do a lot of stuff for us. Who else is out there? There's Coloradas. Have you heard of him? He's on the forums a lot, or on the Instagram. His name's George. Man, there's Injected Performance, I believe. I'm the worst one to talk about this. My wife is the one that deals with all this stuff. Yeah, she's a big part of the dealer side, man, and of keeping the paperwork going.
So they order how many parts do they order a week or a month?
It varies, man. We could go from like maybe 30, 40 things a week to like maybe 60. You know, so we don't get high volume, man. And it's something that I like, you know, because, you know, the way it's only 3 of us, you know, I don't want to have too much work, you know, to where we're constantly in here and, you know, getting tired and getting, right now it's cool, man. The environment in here is nice. You know, you come in here, everybody's happy, we're laughing, you know, you can kind of do something over here and then you can kind of relax for a little bit. And the work still gets done.
Right.
You know, we're not having to push, man, hey, we need this, and this, you know.
But
so.
if you promote, if you promote the website, fix it or whatever, I feel like it will be a lot of like, oh fuck.
Or maybe just this podcast, man. Maybe.
Good luck, man.
Maybe you know, we might do a little coupon code and we'll push something back to you guys. I mean, how much we sell.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were talking about sponsorships. I wanted to talk.
Yeah, man, we did a little sponsorship, man. That's the first time. Like I'm really like behind the scenes with the shop. If you look at my page on the Instagram, there's nothing with my face on there. But I was like, man, you know what? Let me get on here, and everybody's doing it, man. Everybody, it's like what everybody's going to, right? Doing like that for a couple of years now. So I was like, you know, let me jump on here and let me have people get familiar with me, and let me give some free stuff away. Who doesn't like free stuff, you know?
Can you name call the people that you sponsored?
So we just did one sponsorship, and the way that I did it is I wanted the people to message me and show interest in the part and show me what they had. I didn't care at the time if it was just a stock build or a full race build. I wanted to show you. I wanted you to show me the interest, and I wanted you to like say, hey, this is what I have, and list some parts and tell me what you need. You know, and the guy that we picked, and we still need to send his parts out. But the guy we picked, man, he sent me, you know, pictures of his truck. It was super nice. It was a newer Ford. And he just listed like, I mean, it was a long list. Like he took his time to do it, you know, and I felt like, man, this is the guy that deserves it. Right. And he wasn't like, I need this and this and this and this.
I need one piece, one part.
So we're going to hook him up with a dry shaft loop and a diff brace. Yeah, so pretty cool.
You better make some content out of it, man.
I know, right?
Milk some content out of it.
We got to make some content.
Yeah.
They got to make content and be like, look, Vic, here goes.
Yeah, show the product out.
I know, right?
Come on, man. It was a lot of hard work, you know?
Don't forget about the Ford that you had, Vic, the single cab, the black one. Remember we were talking about it earlier?
Yeah.
He had
so,
go ahead.
Yeah. So that truck, man, I sold my Lightning, and it just so happened that this customer of mine was like, hey, I'm selling my truck, and this is the price. And it was what I sold my Lightning for, basically. So I was like, man, I'm going to sell this Lightning. I'm going to get rid of this race truck, you know, and I'm going to go into this single cab, 2-wheel drive truck. And it'll be a cool daily. I could drive it around. I could showcase my parts, because the funny part is he's a customer of mine, had a Whipple. It had all of our parts already. It had coilovers, it had the arms, traction bars. It didn't have a relocation kit, but it was pretty much basically all set up. It had weld wheels on it at the time, like some 20s.
Nice.
And I got that truck, and we did a pretty cool setup on it. We did a 20 by 12 in the back, weld off-road wheel. Forgot the name of it, but it was a 20 by 12 in the back. And because it was an off-road wheel, they sold a 20 by 9 for the front. So we had the offset that we needed for the back, and then also for the front. So the only thing, I like the way the wheel looked. The only thing I didn't like is that it had a simulated beadlock look to it. You know, so it had the fake little bolts.
Yeah.
And so I called up one of my buddies, and I was like, hey, you know anybody that I could send this wheel to have them machine this beadlock look off?
Right.
And so, he found me a guy. I took it to him. He took it off, and it came out real good, man. It came out clean.
Nice.
Had them powder coated. I narrowed the rear end here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we narrowed the rear end.
You used to narrow rear ends back then too.
Man, I did a lot of those, dude.
Right?
I did a ton. I was like the go-to. I was the go-to man in the beginning for flip kits, C notches, and rear end narrowing.
Yeah.
Everybody came to me. There was a.
Easy
We're kind of getting off the black
I
truck.
know,
but-
right? All right.
but
Just
yeah.
finish your story off the truck. And
So
then,
yeah, so the black truck, man, we did a full dual exhaust on it, front to back. It was all 3-inch, all V band. It was super clean. What else did we do? We did the shock relocation kit on the back. We did a limited bumper. It has the cutouts for the exhaust.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. All factory looking. Interior, we did like cat skin seat covers. We did the big screen, the big 12-inch screen. Some paint work on the inside.
So you were mostly into kind of into racing and / clean looks at the same time.
Yeah, man. You know,
Or you was just, like,
in the
nitpicky?
beginning was all racing. You know, we'd be out there racing. Yeah, I never really got competitive. I could never keep my stuff together, man. I always had issues, and it got to a point to where we were just wasting so much money on that stuff, you know. And then we got busy with the shop, and it just wasn't worth it for me to continue doing that, you know. And maybe now it should, you know, I should think about doing something, you know, just to go out to the track and not to be competitive, you know, not to go against any of these top guys, but at least have like a, you know, with a Whipple, you could make, you know, 900 pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, and just have a decent truck out there that can run okay, but can showcase the parts and be out there and you know, hanging out and playing around with everybody.
And then you got rid of the truck.
Yeah, we sold the truck. We sold it to On the Gas.
Yep.
I did Raptor headlights, bumper, grill. Man, we did a lot. I spent a lot of money on that.
He was the original owner, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
The OG.
on the gas,
OG.
on the gas OGs. All right.
Yeah, they took it. They did some paint work, like some ceramic coating, I think. They did some like a stereo system in it, a new system.
On the gas, they wrapped it. It was a red wrapped.
No.
Shout out to On the Gas.
No. They didn't wrap that one.
No.
No, that was the black one. They called it Black Ops.
Yeah, Black Ops, the one they just gave away like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so you sold it recently?
The red one is called Red
We
Bull.
sold it. Yeah, we sold that black truck to them maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, so we actually sold that truck and we bought a new machine.
Nice.
So the machine can make me money.
Dang, if you
The black truck didn't make me, but the black truck made On the Gas money. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're good. They're very good with what
that's
they
their
do.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good with what they do, man. Big shout out to them. Super cool guys.
So you say you never do any mechanical work, especially for trucks?
Not no
Man,
more.
Not no more, man. I got away from it. It was just too much, you know. I like where we're at right now. You know, we're not crazy busy, but we're not super slow. And it's been like that for quite some time, man. Pandemic was wild, man.
Really?
Pandemic was crazy, man. We were getting, it was like people were getting, you know, you were at home. Nobody could do nothing, right? And we did a week. I remember I told the guys, I was like, and then I had 4 guys working for me. Or 3, 4, whatever. I told them, I was like, hey, well, let's, because they had like they were like, no essentials, right? Nobody can drive on the road or whatever. And so I was like, well, I guess we can't drive, you know, so we can't do nothing. Let's just shut it down and see what happens. And we went a week with it being shut down, and we had orders piling up, man. I was like, man, just come in.
You're essential now.
You are essential. We've got to work. And yeah, man, luckily enough, we were one of the few lucky businesses that were thriving, man. We were like,
But most
record numbers,
yeah.
like record months. It was crazy.
But most businesses during COVID, as far as performance and aftermarket, they boomed because Trump.
Yeah.
Shout out Trump.
Shout out Trump.
Ruined, yeah.
Huh?
That was a bunch of back order in COVID days. A bunch of back order, and we just couldn't do anything. You know,
Yeah, it was weird, man. That was a weird time, man. We couldn't get nothing. Material. At one point, we were paying like $700 for a sheet of material when it used to be like 2 something, 3 something.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
it shot
That's
up
a lot.
It shot up crazy, man. Yeah, it was wild.
Nah, but man, it's awesome, man, to have you
Yeah.
on. You know,
Yeah. It
was
I've
fun.
known you for a while, you know? And I remember when I was doing the pod, I was like, man, I'm gonna get Vic on. Like, I gotta get Vic.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
OG for sure.
Yeah, man. I feel like I was one of the first ones, especially with the homemade stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it turned into a business. So
And then everybody knows who you are, what you've done. You
Yeah.
know, your bars, obviously, your traction bars.
Yep.
Feels weird saying bars like that, but yeah, your traction bars.
All the bars.
A lot of people call them CalTracks. They do. That is how good CalTrack is. I mean, they're a name brand, you know.
Yeah.
So everybody's still like, hey, I want some. Not the Ford guys. The Ford guys, they're different. They know it's a VAS traction bar.
Yeah.
But everybody else it's a CalTrack. It's a CalTrack. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: in the beginning when you made them, right? What was an issue? I know I had an issue with them too. They would go forward, right?
Yeah. So in the beginning, we would just clamp them down.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera can see it, but in the beginning, the plate would just kind of sit under the leaf spring. And
Just
then we
sandwich
had
it.
Yep,
Yeah.
another plate on top, and then you tighten it down. And then as you would get under the throttle and get power to the ground, it would, the rear end wants to point up, so it would push the bar forward, and then it would just slide forward. And so we looked into why that was happening, and it was basically there's a pin on there. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
There's a clamp on the Chevy trucks. There's a clamp with a rivet, and what we ended up doing is grinding that rivet down. So you would cut the clamp, grind the rivet head smooth down. The clamp would come off, and then it would expose the body of the rivet. And so we ended up using that to our advantage and saying, hey, you know what? Let's use that as a pin, like a locator. We cut a hole out on our plate, put that on there, and that kept it from sliding forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the only issues that I ever had with those bars. With sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you see how they have the adjustable, right? Mm-hmm. Talk about the adjustment on them, like from that hem joint.
We put a couple adjustments on there. The higher the bar is, the harder it hits the tire. That's pretty much it, man. It's nothing too complicated. Yeah, we do bump stops now. We didn't do any bump. I mean, you can see that. It's bad, man. Just looking at it, that's terrible.
He's like, man, don't show.
So we got bump stops. The 21 to 23 Ford stuff doesn't have that pin. They're just, it's a single leaf spring now. So what we did with that is the plate that goes on top, we had like a section that protrudes forward. Yeah. And that section kind of goes into the leaf spring and it holds the plate from sliding forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So super easy to install.
Maybe it could be the last question or whatever.
Last question.
But I wanted to ask.
Couple last questions.
So I buy a Ford four-wheel drive, right? I came to you, or not, obviously you're not going to do it, but I was like, hey man, I have no idea what I want, but I really want a race truck. I want to go 9s. I want to go 10s.
Yeah.
What do you recommend? What do you recommend for suspension? Like
Suspension wise, definitely coilover kit. I mean, a 3.5 kit from us would be spot on. So on the 21 stuff, you would do our street kit. You would add the Viking coilovers.
That's good.
Add the Viking coilover. So 3.5 street kit. It comes with Viking coilovers already in the front, and our kits come with Fox shocks in the back. So
no more Viking adjustables?
No, yeah. So they come standard with Fox, and then you can upgrade to a Viking D220 stock location. We used to do a bolt-on shock relocation for those trucks. I don't know if you ever seen those, but we had a few customers that actually broke the factory clamp or the factory bracket off the frame. Yeah. So we stopped building those. It was just too much liability with those parts. So we stopped building that, and now we go straight stock location. Still has a decent shock angle. But yeah, so we would go 3.5 street kit, Viking coilovers in the front, Viking D220s in the back, traction bars, and that's pretty much it, man. That'd be a good setup for like a 900 horse setup.
How much is that? What are we talking about?
Man, it's like 1,600 for the 3.5 kit, maybe 17 something with Vikings.
Double adjustable
all the way around, and then 505 for the bars. Yeah. You know, people think our parts are expensive, and the majority of the cost comes from the Viking stuff. You know, the 3.5, all the brackets, all the components, and the traction bars, you're probably spending like maybe 900 to 1,000, and then the rest is the other 1,000 is Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the QA? What do you think the difference from the QA1 and Viking?
Man, I don't know. I don't really want to get into all that. Viking, we've been dealing with Viking. You know, Vikings are really good. They were really good to me, man. We started business maybe 10 years ago, 11 years ago, maybe further than that.
Yeah.
And I remember calling them, and I talked to the owner, and I told him what I was doing, what I had. I'm a small shop, and I want to, I've been buying these parts, but I want to become a dealer for you,
Right.
And at the time, I don't remember what the buy-in was, but man, they hooked me up. I guess they saw how much I was buying, and they didn't require no buy-in.
Nice.
They started me off at their lowest discount. Yep. And then slowly, as I started going and working with them, they put me at their top tier. So that was pretty cool. So they helped me out big too.
I remember still that whenever I told you, I said, man, should I go QA1 or Viking? You're like, man, no, it's the same. But it's the same.
it's
Just
the
get
same.
them. And I was like, nah, it's QA1.
There's some differences.
QA1.
Vikings got some different shocks out there.
Yeah. Well, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. They have they have a couple of different ones now. They have the Warriors, which is what we primarily sell. It's a good street shock. Then they have their Crusaders, which is more of a racing style. They have like a 3-way adjustable.
Wow.
They have a bunch of different stuff, man. Yeah, they have a whole lot of stuff.
And for those that don't know about the double adjustable,
Yeah. So the double adjustable is the rebound and compression.
Right.
Basically, how hard the shock is to extend and how hard it is to compress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple. It's super simple.
Yeah.
It could sound difficult
Yeah.
or wild, but it's really easy.
What is the future for VAS, man?
I don't know.
what is the future
That's
for
a
you?
good question, man. I never think too far ahead, and maybe I should.
I mean, it looked like you've done amazing.
Yeah, man.
So far.
We've
Beautiful house, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to put as much money as we can back into the shop. But yeah, as far as what's in store, I don't know, man. It's hard to tell, how long are we gonna be around? Because nothing lasts forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of companies are going all electric. Are we gonna be racing electric
Hydrogen.
trucks down the road? It's
Hydrogen cars,
Yeah.
hydrogen trucks.
yeah. I don't know.
Will you ever think about selling your company for a bigger company?
Man, I thought of that.
when you
Really?
want to.
I thought of selling. I play a lot of golf now.
Really?
A ton of golf.
Let me know. I do
I
too.
try. Do you really?
Yeah.
I'm going tomorrow. Let's
I
go.
play. Yeah.
No, but
bet
yeah,
on it.
golf has been
Top golf, right?
Top golf.
Top golf. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, anywhere.
I'll do Wii Sports.
That's been my my healing.
No sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So would you sell it, or eventually? Would you?
I would. Yeah.
For the
if
price.
if the price was right, and I was at a point to where I was like, you know what, it's time to move on and go for it. Yeah.
7 digits.
I think I would.
Next,
yeah.
what you call it? The next bars are gonna be for Tesla.
Some Tesla bars.
Hey,
Tesla bars?
They want to make them, race cars. So
Oh, they got that Cybertruck.
Ooh,
Watch out.
I'm sorry, but
man.
it is, bro. It's already
ordered
rusting. It's already rusting.
Are they really?
Swear to God, they literally.
Man, I stay off of the forums and everything.
Yeah.
They were rusting because of a little bit of rain. Right now, it's super limited to even get one right now,
Yeah, they
and they're
are.
very strict to.
Hopefully.
resale.
I know, right?
And we
But I
can
have to
talk.
sell it when I get it. No, I'm playing.
You should.
What is So Vic, you've come so far with your company, right? Your business, whether it's little, small, or big, who cares? But any advice to those that maybe want to start a business like yours, maybe want to get into aftermarket parts?
I would say just find something you like doing. I never thought I would get to this point. I always knew at a young age because my dad's a carpenter and he had his own business growing up. So I saw him taking us to school firsthand. He was always there. If we needed something, it was easy for them to be there for us.
Right.
So that's kind of what I wanted, for my kids. I wanted to be able to be there for them. So, but just find something you like. If it's automotive, and just go for it, man.
Go hard.
Yeah, just go hard for it. Yeah,
Ooh.
go hard.
Go hard podcast.
Yeah, just do it and don't let anybody get you off your path and just stay focused on what you want to do. Yeah,
Nice. Vic, appreciate you opening your shop for us, opening your doors.
For
you
sure.
know? Nice.
this was fun.
It's
Amazing,
like I
thank
said,
you.
beautiful shop, beautiful home. and hope the
Beautiful
best.
person?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No, that's good. I was like, beautiful person, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, beautiful person, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome, you know. Vic.
Appreciate you guys for having
Vic.
me on, man. This was fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah.
for making me wild in the back, you know?
Yeah, thanks for having my daughter on here.
Of course.
She said she wants to be on YouTube, so
Yeah.
hopefully
Thank you for
we
coming
can
on.
get on YouTube, right?
Thank you for being patient with Vic.
Yeah, this was fun, man.
With
This
Daddy
was
Vic.
a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's actually really stressful. No, just kidding.
Nah, but honestly, man, like I said, thank you. And if you're watching and you're building something, maybe you're starting your business, you're building your truck, you're building your car, you're drifting, racing, mudding, you know, anything car related. If you're building your aircraft, boat, just don't forget, man, you got to go hard at it. Simple as that, you know.
Yep. Do
And
it. Follow that dream.
follow that dream
That
and-
passion.
And get it done. But thank you, Vic. Like I said, thank you for tuning in to Go Hard Podcast. Make sure you follow Vic, VA Specialties on Instagram and Facebook. And check out the website at
VASFab.com.
vastfab.com. Get your orders in.
VAS.
New parts coming in for the lower control arms, right? That's coming in.
Yeah,
soon?
hopefully we can have that out pretty soon. But for sure, the tubular transmission cross members are going to be out pretty
cross
soon. Yeah.
members. Get them. If you don't know what they're used for, just get them because you want to have a piece of VAS on
You need 'em.
on your Ford. You don't want to stay behind. You want to move forward, you know. And
You're gonna regret it.
Make sure you check out Ocel Team Bellet on TikTok and
TikTok and Instagram. Let me know what you guys think. I know you're gonna take a lot of shit in the comments, but you know what? I'm trying. So
Yeah. And also, if he rates your truck and you get mad, just DM him. He might not look at it because he doesn't care, but it's all good, right?
yeah, just put him. Just follow me and
Just follow him and then boom.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Go Hard Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Also, the audio is on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you so much. We got new merch coming out. You don't want to miss. It's not giveaway merch. The giveaway merch is very low quality, but it's really awesome quality that you would wear. It's more like a streetwear that you want to like style. You can wear it with New Balances. You can wear it with Hokas. You can wear it with Jordans. You know, Dunks. It's some really nice stuff coming out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.
I'm back.
Peace.